So, this is a visual novel called Little Red, A Wolf's Tale. It's written in Ren'Py, which is based off Python. Let's get started. Look, my son, how Mother Moon is beautiful tonight. Yes, Father, she is always lovely, but she is far more beautiful when she completely defeats the darkness. Yes, but it is a pity that such a beautiful night can still make me feel really sad. Those sad things happened a long time ago, Father. I was just a baby then, and you always wouldn't tell me the whole story. Yes, because it is a sad and very disturbing story, my son. But Father, isn't it also supposed to be something that can teach us a lesson? Yes, son, that's true. Well, I'm not a baby anymore. I think it's time you told me everything. I think you may be right, my son. Then I'll tell you everything. It all started on a full moon night like this. On that night, without warning me, your older sister ventured into the forest alone. She would never return. We would never see her again. Our clan had inhabited these forests for many generations. Then, suddenly, out of nowhere, those monstrous creatures appeared. They were ugly and foul-smelling. They pollute the water with their droppings, and they exterminate the animals we hunt. The only thing we have in common with them is that they worship Mother Moon, just like we do. I already know all of these things, Father. What I really want to know is what happened to my sister that night. Forgive me, son. I'm still trying to decide the best way to tell you. Well, you should be able to imagine how the forest may seem daunting at night. That night, a young girl was wandering alone through the woods, when suddenly she saw a strange creature bathed by the moonlight. She was surprised to see a figure so impressive, so tall and so strong, although the shape was clearly not human. Now, my son, try to guess what she did. The girl walked a few steps towards the creature, then she had a strong and deep voice. I've smelled your presence already. Now I am really surprised, child. I thought you would try to hide or run away screaming. Maybe it is a good thing that you are not afraid of me. I need to speak with you. Perhaps you could help me with my problem. Were you out of your mind, child? How dare you walk near a hungry wolf? Haven't they told you all those terrible bedtime stories? I did not know you are a wolf, sir. I have never seen a wolf before. Never? Oh, what a bad luck. So it seems you cannot help me at all. Are you sure you did not see someone like me? Someone who looks just like me, but who is not as tall? She is my daughter. She just disappeared and I'm looking for her. I'm afraid a hunter may have found her while she was playing carelessly. No, sir. I have not seen anyone. I am actually in need of help too. I'm afraid I might have lost my way in these woods. What? Are you lost like my daughter? So your parents must be very worried. In fact, sir, my mother seemed to be very proud when she brought me to the edge of the forest. She did it because the Women Council told me to go alone to the Shrine of the Moon tonight to make an offering. It seems to be a great honor for me and my family. But my father, I couldn't tell him where I was going because, you know, this is a secret between women.
The Shrine of the Moon. That is a sacred place for humans and wolves. Does this mean that tonight is the night of the sacrifice?
Did you say sacrifice?
Excuse me, I mean offering. Now I am remembering that female wolves share these kind of secrets too. Should be these kinds of secrets, I think. But haven't you noticed they gave you nothing to take there? Could it be the offering is yourself? Wait, I am a male. You should not be talking to me about these things.
Well, you are a male, sir, but you are not a man. I believe it is safe for me to talk to you.
No, my sweet child, it is not safe for you to talk to me, but your innocence has melted this old wolf's heart. Thanks to what you have told me, I now have an idea of where my daughter might be. I thank you for your help.
Could you also help me, sir? I need to find my way to the Shrine of the Moon. The priestess of the moon is there alone, waiting for me. She is a woman very old and ill, as I was told. She may not survive this night. I was thinking, sir, that maybe you could go with me to the shrine. You look so tall and strong and handsome, I wouldn't be afraid of anything with you by my side. It seems you are really made to live here in the woods. Just look, what big legs you have.
All the better to run with, my child.
What big eyes you have.
All the better to see with, my child.
What big ears you have.
All the better to hear with, my child.
What big arms and hands you have.
All the better to catch my prey and never let it escape, my child.
My goodness, what big mouth and teeth you have.
All the better for tearing flesh and breaking bones, my child.
You said you will not hurt me, so I'm not afraid, sir. But if you were not worried and looking for your lost daughter, would you eat me?
I was made to feed myself of meat, blood, and bones. What are you made of, sweet child?
Oh, I see. I thank you for the honest answer, but tell me, can you take me to the shrine, please?
I'd like to take you there, child, but I have to try to find my daughter. Listen carefully. The Shrine of the Moon is this way. There are 2 paths that lead there. The first path is one you are seeing now. It is the shortest path, but it passes through the forest and is a very dark and hazardous path. I suggest you walk a little to the east and then take the path that follows the riverbank. It is the longer path, but it is also safer. There the moonlight is never hidden by the trees, and you will also find many beautiful flowers to give to the priestess.
Thank you, sir. I will take your advice. After they parted, the girl could not take her eyes off the wolf until he disappeared into the fog. She just found it strange that he had taken the path that he said was dark and hazardous. Now, what do you think of it, my son? Nothing strange. The wolf did what he could to help the girl. The wolf seemed to be very worried about his missing daughter. Maybe that's why he did not kill the girl. After all, she was lost and she also had a father. I understand what you mean, but listen, the story goes on. The girl quickly reached the riverbank and began to walk the path that the wolf had suggested to her.
She was happy. Maybe that path was longer, but it was less gloomy, and even the ground was softer under her feet. But soon, after a turn of the road, she stopped, frightened, her heart pounding hard. She saw a dark shadow moving on the trail some distance ahead. Under the moonlight, she observed the figure and realized it was a soldier who was walking in the same direction as she was. She noticed he was not carrying a sword, spear, or shield, but he was holding a bottle instead. Maybe he was returning home after his service. The girl decided to follow him. She greeted the soldier and asked if they could walk together, since they were going in the same direction. The soldier stopped to look at her, but he said nothing. He raised the bottle to his lips and took another sip before starting to walk again. The girl assumed the answer was positive and started following him. They walked in silence for a few minutes. Suddenly, the soldier stopped and turned around to look at the girl one more time. She looked at him, surprised. There was a different look in his eyes now. He was still holding the bottle, but now there was another object in his left hand. The girl could see that he was not enjoying her company that much, so she stepped aside and tried to continue walking. But when she did that, he also took a step aside, blocking her way. She tried to go to the other side. Again, he stood before her like a wall. It was only then that she realized something was terribly wrong. When he stepped forward, she jumped to the side and started running down the road, terrified. He turned around and chased her. She started to scream with all her strength. She cried out for her mother and for her father, although she knew they could not hear her screams. The soldier kept chasing her, and the first sound she heard from him was a belly laugh. He laughed like mad and from time to time stomped his heavy boots heavily on the ground to scare her even more. That eerie joke went on for several minutes. The girl was already very tired, and her legs ached horribly. She could no longer bear the fatigue. Everything went dark around her. She stumbled and fell to the ground. She lay there on the ground, unable to move. Then she heard a loud noise like a tremendous punch. Something fell heavily to the ground not far from her. The girl thought she was going to die. She remembered her mother, who was so proud of her. She remembered her father, whom she did not have the chance to hug and kiss before leaving home. She remembered the priestess, so old and so ill, who was alone, waiting for her there at the shrine. And she remembered the wolf. If he was beside her, she was sure he would protect her from any danger. The wolf?
Are you feeling well, human child?
The wolf helped the girl to stand on her feet again. She looked at the path and saw a dark figure lying on the ground. She recognized the soldier. Oh, did you?
Don't you worry, child. I did not kill him. I only put him to sleep. He is going to wake up in the morning with a big headache.
I cannot understand. I believed that noble soldier would protect me, but he attacked me for no reason.
Couldn't you see the bottle he was holding? Couldn't you sense the smell of alcohol? He was completely drunk. This is just one of the many stupid things humans do. I'd like to believe that he just wanted to have fun with your fear.
How did you find me? You arrived just in time.
I was far from here, but I could hear your screams, thanks to my big ears. But I have lost precious time by coming here. I'm sorry. I did not intend to put you in this bad situation. You are safe now. Sorry, but I have to go.
Take me with you, please. I can't. I have to run. I have a very important thing to do, and I hope it is not too late now. So long, child.
For the second time, the girl watched the wolf disappear into the forest. She was very tired, thirsty, and hungry. However, she took a deep breath and started walking again. She walked alone for a very long time, and finally, she could see the shrine of the moon. Suddenly, she had a bad feeling. She stopped for a minute before going to the entrance. The shrine of the moon was very different from what she had imagined all of her life. She used to imagine a place so beautiful and so bright, like the full moon, but she saw only a temple made of old stones corroded by time. There was only a small fire burning, but she could see the altar on a figure dressed in a hooded robe which could only be the priestess of the moon. The incidents of the journey made her forget to pick some flowers. Without knowing what to do or what to say, the girl walked to the throne and greeted the priestess with a graceful bow. The raspy voice that answered her greeting was surprisingly strong for a woman said to be old and ill and almost at the verge of death.
You are late, my child,
But finally you are here. I've started the ritual already, even without your presence. You must be very tired, thirsty and hungry, but I need you to be feeling strong and healthy. Please go to the altar. There you will find a plate and a chalice. Eat and drink. This is part of the ritual and it is very important. Wait a minute, Father.
What is it, my son?
I'm sorry, but I must say this seems to be very far from telling me about what really happened to my sister.
Why do you think so, my son?
Where's the wolf? What about that important thing he said he was going to do? Did he succeed to make it in time, or...
I think I know what you're thinking, son. Please, stay calm. Sometimes the truth is so shocking that we better not rush to see it. Examine the events with attention and try to discover what they can reveal to you.
Yes, I understand. I know the story has a sad ending. I'm sorry, Father, for interrupting you. You can keep going now.
The girl went to the altar. There she found slices of meat on a plate and a chalice filled with a dark, thick liquid. The priestess started a long prayer using strange words, the meaning of which the girl did not know. Despite being hungry, the girl did not like what she found on the altar.
Ugh, the meat is raw,
interrupted the priestess snapped.
It is fresh and tender, my child. Eat it. It is very important. I know you're hungry.
The priestess continued her prayer. Only the great hunger helped the girl to clear the plate.
Now drink, my child, drink. Is this wine? But it tastes like blood.
Pausing the prayer, the priestess exclaimed again.
It is fresh like the meat, child. Drink it. It is very important. I know you're thirsty.
The girl did as she was told, though feeling nauseous. While the girl was drinking, the priestess removed her hooded robe and walked to the center of the room.
Now come to me, my child. It is time for you to know the truth. You have been sent here to become the new priestess of the moon, and because of this, you have already endured a severe trial. You came here alone through the forest, and if you managed to get this far, it was only thanks to the maternal protection of Mother Moon. A creature of the night has been sacrificed, and the heart and the blood of that creature were put on the altar, especially for you. Now the spirit of that creature is tied to your body forever. This will bring great strength and strong desire to overcome any adversity. Now come to me, my child. The girl felt as if her head was spinning. A strange force seemed to be pushing her towards that woman. What a beautiful child you are, how young and healthy your body is. Now I will tell you a secret. You know how the moon changes her appearance over time? She is glowing strong tonight, but she will be fading away slowly until she disappears. But the moon never dies. The moon will rise again. In the same way, the priestess of the moon will never die. She is always the same person. This is the great secret, my child. I am never going to die. But you will die before this night is over. Only before that happens, my spirit will move into your young body, and your spirit will come into this aging body that will die in a few hours. My spirit has been in many young bodies as yours, but they eventually ceased to shine like the moon. Now it is time to renew the cycle. Spirit of the night that is now inside this young body, hear me. Spirit of the wolf, I am going to join you once again. Look into my eyes, my child. Look into my eyes. Now, I only have to say the magic words out loud. Look. What? The girl was feeling very weak and exhausted. She closed her eyes and fell on her knees. She stayed like that for a while. All she could hear was a strange noise like rustling cloth. Then, slowly, she opened her eyes. To her surprise, all she could see was a priestess's legs suspended in the air and moving frantically. Suddenly, the girl heard a loud snap. And then the legs stopped moving. The priestess of the moon, who wasn't supposed to die, had no time to say the magic words out loud. The wolf dropped the lifeless body and looked around. He looked at the altar. Then he sniffed the air and walked resolutely to a dark corner of the shrine. There, he fell on his knees and howled in despair. The girl watched him, and her eyes welled up with tears. He was holding the body of a small wolf, who had a beautiful grey pelage stained with blood. Too late to save her, the wolf had finally found his daughter. Who knows? Maybe if only he had not returned to help the girl. Remembering this, the girl looked one more time to the altar, and then directed her gaze to the floor, feeling ashamed. The wolf quickly recovered and went to see how the human cub was doing. What's wrong with you, child? Please lift your head and look at me. I cannot. I feel so ashamed. You saved my life twice, sir. And what have I done to you?
You did nothing wrong, child. It was not your fault. By the time I made it here, my daughter was already dead. I could have killed that witch at that very moment, but I decided to wait until you came, to see what would happen then. I just needed to understand why my daughter had to die. Now, if you're feeling ashamed because you drank her blood, and because you ate slices of her heart, please, there is no need. In fact, you honored her by doing so. We wolves see these things differently. And if what that witch was saying is true, then the spirit of my daughter is tied to your body forever. This makes me look at you as a father looks at his daughter. Listen, many years ago, when I was still a little puppy, my father killed a prey and took it home in the evening. That would be the first time my brothers and I would eat meat. My father taught us that the nature of wolves is that we must kill to survive, but we shall have the greatest respect for the creatures we eat. A wolf never kills without a reason. That same night, a group of human hunters came. My father did what he could, trying to defend his family. But the hunters had spears, arrows, knives, and clubs. My mother also had no chance. We little cubs tried to flee in a panic. I was lucky enough to find a cavity in a tree trunk where I hid myself. My brothers did not have such luck. Mother Moon was bright that night. I asked her to take her light away, to seek a cloud to cover herself. But it was in vain. The moonlight revealed to the hunters where my brothers were hiding. One by one they were found, and I was the only one to survive. After the slaughtering, those men simply went away. They did not want anything, only the adventure and the wicked pleasure of killing for sport. Later, I found another family of wolves who accepted me. I never told them, but I had lost my face in Mother Moon that night when I lost my family. I pretended to worship Mother Moon, but in my heart I loathed her. Then, tonight my daughter disappeared. I could not find her. I was in despair. I decided to give Mother Moon a second chance, and I asked her to help me. At that same moment, you appeared. No other wolf has more reasons than I to hate human beings, but still I asked for your help, and your words helped me to see the light. Tonight is a blue moon. On every 20th blue moon, wolves and humans make sacrifices to Mother Moon. I ran here to this sacred clearing. Males are forbidden to come here, but I did not care. I wanted my daughter back. The females of my clan believe that on the 20th blue moon, Mother Moon takes a female puppy to the sky. That very young she-wolf is left alone here in the clearing. She always disappeared without a trace, so we believed she was taken to the sky. But when I arrived here, what I saw was that witch killing my daughter. That's what Mother Moon showed me under her mighty glow. Still, I believe Mother Moon heard my prayer. She made me see that the cult of the moon was just a farce created by that witch. She fooled us all, wolves and humans for several generations, killing our children to carry out her black magic. I may suffer less now, knowing my daughter's spirit shall always be with you. And I'll be happy if she will be the last wolf to die this way. Now, child, you are the new priestess of the moon, and it's up to you to take care that no more innocent blood shall be shed in vain. I will leave you now, child, and certainly we will never meet again. But I want you to know that my heart will always be with you. I shall never forget that tonight you and I have helped Mother Moon to really defeat the darkness. Without another word, the wolf took the body of his daughter in his arms and went away. For the third and last time, the girl watched sadly as the wolf disappeared into the misty forest. The following day, the women would come to bring offerings and to bury the old priestess. These things happened some years ago. By now, the girl must have blossomed into a woman. They say both humans and wolves respect her, and that she is a very wise person. I have been the only male who has entered that sacred place since its creation, I believe. But certainly, Mother Moon has forgiven me already. And this is the whole story, my son. It's so startling to think that my sister was killed by a witch, and then she was eaten by a human cub. Well, I said it would be a shocking revelation. I hope you will not have nightmares again. I regret having told you about my early years.
Oh, that bad dream about the human hunters? It did not happen again for a long time.
Of course, I was shocked too. But I had to lie to the girl to comfort her, telling her that she did a noble gesture when she ate your sister's heart.
Yes, that was really a noble gesture on your part, Father. I wonder why humans can never be as gentle and noble as we wolves are.
Humans are treacherous and dangerous beasts, my son. You better stay away from them.
Tell me, Father, have you killed many humans in your life?
When I was young, I was always stalking the villages of humans, and whenever I saw a lonely human cub, I did not think twice. I thought that by doing what I was, avenging the deaths of my parents and brothers, but then I realized I was wrong. For each human cub I devoured, the adults would gather in groups and kill 1 or 2 wolves for revenge. So I stopped. Besides, humans are not that tasty. They smell horrible. They are full of parasites and they eat too much salt. Their meat is bad for our health. Now I believe humans and wolves will never be friends. But we do not need to be killing each other every day either.
The story you told me makes me wonder, is the spirit of my sister really tied to the body of the priestess of the moon?
Yes. In some way, the priestess of the moon is my daughter. In some way, she is your sister too.
A human sister? I think I can live without one.
Hey, I believe your mother must be hungry now. Let's go hunting?
Yay! I thought you'd never ask. Enough talk, let's go. This story was loosely based on folk traditions compiled by Charles Perrault, who lived from 1628 to 1703. The concept, story, graphics, programming, and music were by Donmai. English editing and proofreading by Arachne42 and Puisa Gorkate. What fun names! And it was created with the Ren'Py visual novel engine. Homo homini lupus est. Titus Marcius Plautus. Oh, Donmai. Okay, so that is the end of that story. Thank you very much.